God is a fire that warms and kindles the heart and inward parts. And so, if we feel in our hearts coldness, which is from the devil, for the devil is cold, then let us call upon the Lord, and he will come and warm our hearts with perfect love, not only for him, but for our neighbor as well. And from the presence of warmth, the coldness of the hater of good will be driven away. The fathers wrote, when they were asked, seek the Lord, but do not be curious as to his dwelling place. Where God is, there is no evil. Everything that comes from God brings peace and profit and leads a man to humility and self-condemnation. God shows us his love for mankind not only when we do good, but also when we offend and displease him. How patiently he endures our transgressions. And when he chastises, how mercifully he chastises. Do not call God just, says St. Isaac, for his justice is not evident in your deeds. If David called him just and righteous, his son, on the other hand, showed us that he is rather good and merciful. Where is his justice? We were sinners, and Christ died for us. St. Isaac the Syrian, Homily 90. A man becomes perfect in the sight of God to the extent that he follows in his footsteps. In the true age, God will reveal his face to him. For the righteous, to the degree that they enter into contemplation of him, behold his image as in a mirror. But there they will behold the revelation of truth. If you do not know God, it is impossible for love of him to be awakened in you. And you cannot love God if you do not see him. The vision of God comes from knowledge of him, for contemplation of him does not precede knowledge of him. One should not think about the doings of God when one's stomach is full. On a full stomach, there can be no vision of the divine mysteries. In order to look upon the Most Holy Trinity, one must ask the aid of those who taught about the Trinity, St. Basil the Great, St. Gregory the Theologian, and St. John Chrysostom, whose intercession is able to draw upon men the blessing of the Most Holy Trinity, but one should be warned not to attempt to look directly for themselves. The reasons why Jesus Christ, the Son of God, came into the world are these. 1. The love of God for the human race. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, John 3:16. 2. The restoration in fallen humanity of the image and likeness of God, as the Holy Church celebrates in man who, being made in the image of God, had become corrupt through sin, and was full of vileness, and had fallen away from the better life divine, doth the wise Creator restore anew. First Canon of Matins from the Nativity of Christ, O1. 3. The salvation of men's souls. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. John 3:17. And so we, in conformance with the purposes of our Redeemer, the Lord Jesus Christ, should spend our life in accordance with this divine teaching, so that through it we may obtain the salvation of our soul.